But international responsibilities, and well, Mr. Skerritt, over to you.
Good afternoon. A special, very special good afternoon to, of course, Captain Napier, our host, to Ludwig and Ken, who I've known as long as I've known the captain, and to the crew. Thank you all, other officers and crew of the Freewinds, for being here. This is, in essence, a tribute to you for keeping the Freewinds sailing through the very warm and mostly pleasant waters of the Caribbean for so many years. And as the captain said to you, I've had the privilege to be on the welcoming end of the ship for most of those years. In St. Kitts, and I'm very aware of your very focused itineraries in our part of the world, and that in fact the Freewinds is part of the foundation of Caribbean cruising. It's not by coincidence that we're here in this beautiful island of Curacao today, in this beautiful region of what used to be known as the Dutch Antilles, but politics over the last few years is rapidly changing that to be almost individual independent countries. But it is a pleasure to be here at what is in effect a cruise tourism event being hosted here in Curacao. And what more fitting opportunity to pay tribute to a relatively small but highly valuable cruising vessel and its staff, and of course its many, many guests over so many years. And everywhere you have sailed, you have warmed the hearts of local people with your generosity and your community spiritedness and your sense of integration with our region and our people. And that is really why we're here today, to thank you. In St. Kitts and Nevis, I can speak for hours about what you have been doing there, not only in bringing valuable guests to our country, but in the cooperation that we've had from you in helping to develop skills and capacity in maritime affairs. Your captain and your top technical people have been extremely helpful to us in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I know beyond, in making your facilities and your expertise available to our Department of Maritime Affairs. So today really is a special occasion for many reasons. For me personally, it is the perfect way to end my 2-year elected term as chairman of this great organization called the Caribbean Tourism Organization, which actually climaxes next week with a major State of the Industry conference in St. Kitts and Nevis, where I know some of my colleagues will be present. But since this is in fact one of your principal home ports, and since Curacao has become in many respects the real home of the Freewinds, Ludwig and myself discussed some weeks ago the possibility of presenting this proclamation, which is very beautifully worded, and I know that you can't wait to see it. But in ending, therefore, this, what was supposed to be a 2-minute speech, I want to crave your indulgence while I read the proclamation on behalf of the ministries of tourism and the governments of our region, as you know, some of whom are actually represented here today. And I see my colleague from Bonaire has come in. Good to see you here. So, and he boasted to me today that he sailed in on the Freewinds last night. I didn't have that privilege, but the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas the Caribbean Tourism Organization, established in 1989, creates and manages the partnerships necessary to increase the accessibility to and within the Caribbean that result in sustainable economic and social benefits of our people. Whereas the Caribbean Tourism Organization comprises the ministers of tourism from each of the 32 member countries, including English, French, Spanish, and Dutch countries and territories, as well as private sector non-government members. These include the Caribbean Hotel Association and Tourism Association, the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, companies, organizations, and persons providing products and services to the Caribbean tourism industry. And whereas the SMV Freewinds has operated in and around the Caribbean, visiting 45 ports of call throughout the region since 1988, bringing in hundreds of thousands of visitors to our shores to join the ship and to enjoy the beauty of our island nations. Whereas the SMV Freewinds is the longest running passenger vessel to have sailed the Caribbean, having supported the region economically, educationally, culturally, and through its social programs, endeavored to improve the standard of life and well-being of the Caribbean people. And whereas the SMV Freewinds has assisted in the training and instructing of over 3,000 professionals in the maritime community, fire departments, police departments, defense and Coast Guard forces. And whereas the SMV Freewinds has hosted aboard over 200,000 people from the Caribbean for concerts, tours, and fundraising activities, offering for the first time to the vast majority of Caribbean nationals the chance to experience what the SMV Freewinds is and why it has become such a permanent and vital component of our Caribbean community. And whereas over 10,000 students have been given a chance through their various schools to visit the ship and learn about the cruise and maritime industry and create or increase the awareness in the Caribbean of this product and its objectives. And whereas many of the officers and crew of the SMV Freewinds have sailed aboard her for a majority of those 25 years and have taken an active role in the betterment of the countries they have touched. And whereas the Caribbean Tourism Organization recognizes these efforts and would like to commend and congratulate the Freewinds captain, officers and crew for a quarter of a century of safe sailing and over 3,000 calls to our Caribbean ports. Now, therefore, in recognition of 25 years of consistent support and work economically, educationally, culturally, and through its social programs to improve the standard of life and well-being of the Caribbean people, and to acknowledge this exemplary partnership, the Caribbean Tourism Organization hereby proclaims June 6, 2013 as Freewinds Day. And wishes all who work and sail on her continued success. Thank you very much.